In this WrestleTalk news, ROH releases Everyone, the promotion's future, and my review of AEW Dynamite. Super click the subscribe button and enable notifications to always on for daily wrestling news videos.
Support WrestleTalk!
Ring of Honor have arguably been the most responsible wrestling promotion in the world alongside New Japan during the pandemic. They held off on producing any live or recorded shows until they figured out how it could be done safely, and still paid every wrestler signed with them. Some wrestlers who were only booked for one-off performances months after the pandemic began have praised the company for even paying them for appearances they couldn't make. But a year and a half of that strategy takes its toll, and Ring of Honor have now posted a statement revealing they are going on a hiatus to reimagine the promotion. Throughout the pandemic, our top priority was to keep everyone healthy and safe, and despite not producing any live events over 18 months, we were able to keep everyone fully contracted. We now find ourselves at a time where we need to make changes to our business operations and are planning a pivot for Ring of Honor with a new mission and strategy. The year will culminate with a final battle in December, and we will be taking the first quarter of 2022 to work internally to reimagine ROH. ROH has the most dedicated fans in the industry, and we appreciate their loyalty and patience as we reconceptualize Ring of Honor. We anticipate returning to live events in April for the Supercard of Honor with a new fan-focused product and provide a unique experience for wrestling fans. Dave Meltzer then revealed exactly what that meant, tweeting, ROH released everyone from contracts. Sean Ross Sapp then added, we're told that Ring of Honor COO Joe Koff told Talent he had multiple meetings trying to fight for Ring of Honor, but ultimately their TV network owner Sinclair made the call. Based on who I've spoken with, ROH releases are effective at the end of the year. If a contract goes beyond that, they're paid until March 31st. ROH Talent were told to contact Greg Gilliland if they want to work elsewhere, and if they're under a deal, they'll work on making that happen. Brian Alvarez then added Talent are able to work anywhere they want immediately. We are told rumors Sinclair cancelled the show are not true. PW Insider then revealed the Talent were informed their contracts won't be renewed on a Zoom call on Wednesday. ROH will tape its TV this weekend through to its final Battle pay-per-view on the 12th of December. After that, the weekly show will continue using archive footage until the planned reimagining in April. In a promising sign, ROH already has a venue locked in for their Supercard of Honor show. ROH has arguably done more than any other promotion in North America in the last 2 decades to cultivate and influence the strong-style wrestling that has improved the industry's in-ring product. A look at either WWE or AEW's rosters shows the wealth of talent who first plied their trade there, with CM Punk, Bryan Danielson, Seth Rollins, Adam Cole, Samoa Joe, AJ Styles and more. And that pedigree is still there, with a roster that includes Jay Lethal, Bandido, Roosh, Brody King, Dalton Castle, Dragon Lee, The Briscoes, Matt Taven, Shane Taylor and Jonathan Gresham, who are now free to work elsewhere. Which former ROH wrestlers do you want to see turn up in other promotions, and what are your favourite ROH memories? I know it's not a particularly popular time for ROH diehards, but the Davey Richards, Michael Elgin, Kevin Owens period in the early teens, or Kevin Steen I should say, booked by Jim Cornette, is one of my all-time favourite periods of a wrestling company. Let me know in the comments down below. It's Wednesday, you know what that means. Ah shucks, AEW getting bumped to Saturdays again. No, it's back on Wednesday nights. And their return kicked off big with Bobby Fish versus the CM Punk tights variant. Following their interaction from Saturday, Fish worked over Punk's leg, taking out the very knee needed for the GTS finish, but Punk fought through the pain in the end to hit it. It was a very neatly done protection of Fish, who kicked out a fraction of a second after the 3 count because of how long it took Punk to get the cover. I still can't believe I'm getting to watch CM Punk wrestle in AEW. MJF squashed enhancement talent Bryce Donovan with a 1-finger pin, which gave him more time to bury "Enter your local hometown here." He said he's all about pinning shoulders to mats and banging rats, a derogatory term for a woman who sleeps with wrestlers, but he'd rather stick his penis in a blender rather than have sex with anyone from Boston, and more specifically, your mum. Sting's music started playing, but it was just a joke entrance. The heels yucked it up when the lights completely cut out. MJF is like, "Nice one, Spears," and Spears replies in his best Goofy Stooge voice, "That ain't me, boss." Darby's latest student film premiered. Sting attacked them in the ring, and waiting just behind an escaping MJF in the crowd was Darby Allin dressed as Inspector Gadget. It's still his favourite cartoon. This was an awesome babyface reveal, which Allin followed up with making the challenge for Full Gear. Sammy Guevara got most of the offense on Ethan Page in their TNT Championship match, hitting an incredible double springboard cutter and a shooting star press to the outside. I like how all the TNT champions have had such unique wrestling styles from each other. Sammy's matches are totally different to Miro, Darby, Cody, and Brody's so far. Unfortunately, I feel like the story had one stipulation too many. It wasn't just the TNT title on the line. Sammy would have to leave the Inner Circle if he lost too, rather telegraphing the finish. Sammy obviously won, prompting a brawl between the Men of the Year and the Inner Circle, where Jericho revealed their Full Gear match will be a Minneapolis street fight. The American top team lineup will be decided next week, which might include the premier athlete Tony Nese, who was watching from ringside and seemed upset when Sammy retained. Eddie Kingston and Bryan Danielson had a fiery promo backstage, comparing battles with depression, and Danielson vowing to still beat him in the world title eliminator match this Friday, which is a great way to get over the probable Danielson versus Mox final. Bryan beats Mox's best mate in the semis. Meanwhile, Mox is just straight up eating his opponents, squashing 10 in a matter of minutes, ripping his mask and biting his face. Just walking back through the crowd with someone else's blood smeared over his shoulder, this made Mox look the most dangerous and aggressive he's ever been, which is saying something. He is the one who returns from the alleyway. Sounded cooler when he said it. In possibly the best non-title women's feud since Rosa vs. Baker, Shida collided with Serena Deeb in the first round of the TBS tournament, with Shida still chasing that 50th win that Deeb denied her weeks ago. They stole the show here with a terrifically intense fight. Shida throwing herself into kicks, Deeb dismantling body parts. The crowd was so into every submission spot given how their last match ended. Deeb went on to use the 50th win plaque as a weapon, but Shida turned it into a perfectly booked roll-up win. This caused Deeb to snap, smashing Shida's knee in with a chair. These two absolutely stole the show. For me, they should be at the top of the women's division along with Baker and Rosa. Those are the four to focus on. Long may this feud continue. But arguably the more fascinating feud right now is Cody Rhodes versus the concept of the babyface. Full disclosure, I love Cody. Unironically, I actually do enjoy him as a white meat babyface, but you can't ignore the vocal reactions from the live crowds who very much don't. So AEW has taken an interesting approach, turned that into a storyline. Malachi Black claimed to have turned the fans against him. Sure, Cody won on Saturday, but Black won the war of hearts and minds. Commentary also noted the crowd's booing, and then so did Rhodes in a brave gamble with a "This Cody's not for turning" promo. Maggie Thatcher did it better. In typical Cody style, he put over his family. He said his wife is too hot for him, his daughter is too good for him, his brother is a better wrestler than him, and his father has a legacy he'll never live up to. He literally threw his shoes into the audience and asked them to imagine what it's like to be in his place. Wait a second, shoes have heels! Heel turn He said the easy way out would be to turn. So, he's not going to. He's going to stay true to his babyface self. He's living his best babyface life. It was a good promo, but when you remove the performance, the content here is AEW breaking the fourth wall. Cody's character isn't working the way he wants it to, so please start cheering for him. If it was anyone else, I'd say these are the words of a delusional heel character. So maybe this is building to a turn. Or it is 100% sincere. I don't know. Andrade and Black interrupted, and Pac made the save. And the main event was a fun fancy dress match for Halloween, with the Dark Order dressed up mostly in cowboy outfits, and the Super Elite wearing Ghostbusters costumes. The Good Brothers didn't accompany them, so maybe the Impact partnership really is over for now. This was a goofy house show style match. I enjoyed it, but I can see how people who want their world champions serious could take against it. But I think whatever criticisms people might have had were fixed by the end, as the comedy was the perfect Trojan horse to deliver a seriously badass angle. The Dark Order guy in the horse outfit, who the Elite all beat up, turned out to be their own Brandon Cutler, leaving the Elite's Marshmallow Man to reveal themselves as Hangman Page in the best new meme template. John Silver got a much needed win for the Dark Order, who celebrated all together again with Hangman. What did you think of Dynamite? 51% of you went for Give Us Shida vs. Deeb 3, narrowly beating I'm dressing up as Hangman Page as Marshmallow Man for Halloween. This was an incredibly fun episode with a superb Deeb vs. Shida match, a fiery MJF promo, and an awesome angle in the main event. This week's Dynamite is 4 out of 5. Is there any other? In this WrestleTalk news, WWE Talent released, WWE beats AEW, our review of NXT, Halloween Havoc and more.